How's it going, YouTube? So I'm out here messing around on the brand spanking new, only one of two in the US, Nikot eWolf 72 volt electric pit bike here. I know a lot of you have known this is coming and been waiting for this video. Unfortunately, this is not really the video I was planning on making or I wanted to make, and we'll get into that a little bit. Of course, with everything in life, nothing is simple. There's always problems. This doesn't have to be a problem. We'll talk about it. So I'm gonna go find somewhere to post up and we'll get some good shots of it and go over the details of the bike in its current condition, and then I'll let you know what the problems are. I mean, right off the bat, the torque off the line this thing is awesome. It's really fun. Kind of on a louder side for an electric bike though, but it doesn't bother me at all. Finally got some good weather in Houston, man. It's been crazy. Tornado warnings, we got these alerts on our phone like a couple nights ago to take cover because a tornado was nearby, and so we're just sitting downstairs in the closet. We don't have a basement or anything. There's been all kinds of crazy thunderstorms, windows blown out of buildings, flooding all over the damn place. It's been pretty crazy. Now we finally have a nice day. I would normally ride off-road over here, but this is all flooded. Even the back trails are flooded. You can't tell, but it's flooded here. So anyways, here she is. Let's go over some of the specs here. So this is a 72 volt. It's got a 6.5 kilowatt tune. The battery is 30 amp hour, so 72 volt, 30 amp hour batteries. The motor is rated for 3 kilowatt nominal, and it's got, like I said, 6.5 kilowatt tune. The motor, the battery, and the controller are all Bafang, so they're kind of higher quality, more expensive, right? So you can see it's got like these moto style dual piston brakes here. Pretty thick rotors. I don't know if you can see in there, but it's got a 420 chain. Unlike a lot of the bikes you get with little pit bikes, this has a 420 chain stock, the 45 tooth sprocket. It's interesting because it has this huge chain guard. It like has all the way around the chain, there's this chain guard. You know, I'm not sure if that's necessary, if I like it or not, but you know, it comes with that. That's cool. The wheels are 12 inch in the rear and 14 inch in the front. It actually comes with pretty nice pegs here. You don't need to change these. These are perfectly fine the way they are. So it comes with these tall handlebars too, so it makes it actually really comfortable. Like when you first jump on the bike as an adult, like you don't feel too cramped. You know, ergonomics feel just fine. It's got 3 power modes, 1, 2, and 3. It's got this little display here. It just shows basically your charge, the kilometers per hour. Still haven't figured out how to change it to miles, but I will. And this little park button here. What's cool about this park button is you can have the bike on and just, you know, put it in park, and then when you hit the throttle, you know, nothing happens. You have to hit park and then you can go. There is no traditional key on this thing. It's just this little guy here, which makes sense because, like, you know, this is for little kids. So if they're riding it and they fall off or something and you have this attached to them, you know, it pulls it off here and it shuts the bike down. So there's different options for tires. You can get street tires. You can get dual 12-inch wheels with Supermoto tires. You can get these, the 12 and 14 inch wheels with the knobbies, and you can even get 14 inch rear, 17 inch front. That one's more expensive because they had to change, I think, the swing arm and a couple things to get it to handle right with the bigger wheels. So far, my initial impressions of the bike, like the fit and finish is great. Like this thing just feels like it has quality components. It just feels well put together, solid, it handles really well. Oh yeah, let's talk about the suspension really quick too. So it has fully adjustable front forks, and I think it has just preload adjustable rear shock. But the strange thing is, like, this thing is made for kids. I'm 265 pounds and the suspension is perfect. Like, the suspension is way better than I was expecting. I didn't have to make any changes, just sit on it and go. It's really stiff, so it's made for, you know, getting pretty aggressive off-road. You can do jumps on it and stuff like that. So this is a legit, you know, pit bike made for doing off-road stuff. It's not really a street bike, but I'm gonna ride on the street. So even like, you know, the front plate thing, it's all just really solid and high quality, and the way everything kind of fits together is just nice. So the issue is, I mean, even look at the brake levers, right? So these are folding away brake levers. So in case you drop the bike, you know, you're not going to break your lever. They're just going to fold out of the way. You know, there's just a lot of high quality components on this thing. It just feels premium. So I mentioned there were issues, and there are some issues. The first issue is the brakes they're terrible. Let's be honest, they're not good. They're so bad, they're dangerous, in my opinion, at least for my size. And this is the first batch. So this is a brand new bike made by Nikot. So it's a Nikot eWolf. They make a lot of like combustion bikes. They ship overseas mostly. They don't really sell here in the US. Where this one, they designed this from the ground up to be electric. and they did a fantastic job. The cool thing about the battery here is it's the same size as like a Sur-Ron battery. You know, it pulls out the same way. There's a little bolt under the seat comes off, and then you can just, you know, pull the battery out like you would a Sur-Ron or something like that. And it's the same type of controller. So besides the brakes, I let them know about the brakes. They said they were already on top of it. They already figured out the brakes were not good, so they've changed them. So the brakes that come with it now are not these brakes. So that's great. Problem solved. The other issue is this has a 6.5 kilowatt tune, but the controller and the battery are capable of putting out 150 amps, right? So actually they're capable of putting out about 10,800 watts, 10.8 kilowatts, you know, because it's the amperage by the voltage, right? So if it's capable of putting out a max output of 150 amps times 72 volts, right? They have it tuned at 6.5 kilowatts. They're just trying to be safe. You know, most of the times you buy these electric bikes and they're already kind of maxed out. You know, if you want more power, you have to buy a new battery, you have to buy an aftermarket controller, you know, you have to spend a few $1,000s. This one comes detuned, you know, so potentially you can even increase this up to 10,000 watts, which is ridiculous for this bike. My Bomb Moto is scary torquey, scary fast, and I have that thing tuned at 7 kilowatts, right? So 10 on this, way overkill, you don't need it. But the way it sits now, I'm maxing out about 43 miles an hour, and it just like there's more in there to give. I just want more, right? So I asked them about, you know, is there an application or some way that I can get in there and retune this thing, you know, because I want more power out of it. So basically they said that, you know, they've been comparing this situation here, that these configurations with the Bafang motor, battery, controller with QS, and when they compare it, the QS motor can put out more power and the battery capacity is higher. So instead of a 72 volt 30 amp hour, they can get a 72 volt 35 amp hour QS battery with the QS controller, QS motor, and instead of them being comfortable tuning it at 6.5 kilowatts, they're saying, okay, we can tune it at 7.8 kilowatts, bring the top speed of about 50 miles an hour, increase the torque and overall performance, and that's what they're doing. So this bike, when it's available to customers, is not going to have this configuration here. So they fixed the brakes and they're adding more power, and even then it's going to be detuned. So in the future you can probably you can tune that one up too, you know, without having to buy an aftermarket controller, battery, anything. So that's great. So this bike is already, with the brakes fixed in this configuration, it's already badass. It's awesome. With these changes that they're doing, it's going to be even more awesome. And the cool thing about these changes they're doing is that the Bafang is a lot more expensive, the Bafang system. So the MSRP for this originally was $39.99, but with the QS configuration, with the higher battery capacity, more power, $34.99. So this thing is going to cost, the MSRP is $34.99 for this thing, which is absolutely ridiculous because the quality you get out of this thing. I mean, even look at this. Look at the charging port, you know? I mean, they thought about everything. Everything's high quality. Yeah. So anyways, the problem is I have this thing, right? I got permission to sell it. When I found out they're coming out with this bike, let's go for a ride. So when I found out they're coming out with this bike, I contacted them. I told them I'm interested in selling it, blah, blah, blah. I got permission to sell it, okay? So I'm an authorized seller. So I do the marketing, I take the order, I send the order to them, it ships from China, right? So it is drop shipping, but they don't sell the public, you have to be an authorized seller. So right now, it was going to be the only way you could buy it is through me, but I'm not going to sell it because I don't have the bike that's actually going to be sold to the public, right? I use this YouTube channel to market the bikes. I want to do top speed tests, I want to do range tests, I want to do like, I don't know, throttle control test off-road and stuff like that. None of those tests with this bike mean anything because this isn't the bike that's going to be sold. So it puts me in a kind of a weird situation where I wanted this video to be the launch video of this bike and, you know, have it linked on my store where you can go pre-order if you want. But so I asked them at Nikot, Frank Yang, he has his own YouTube channel, check it out. I'll link it in the description here too. Like, he's the one I'm dealing with to purchase this thing, and I'm asking him, well, can I just return this and get another one? And so far his response was just like a super sarcastic response saying in his 20 years he's never heard of that and blah blah blah, and don't joke, man, is what he said, or don't joke, my friend. So basically a really sarcastic no, I can't return it. But so far there isn't any kind of resolution because they're trying to get into the American market, you know. They don't really sell much here. I have a YouTube channel, I'm going to be marketing it and bringing it to market. You know, even if there's other retailers that end up selling it and I don't, just my YouTube videos are going to, you know, help get the word out. But so I don't know. I can't afford to buy another one, you know. So if they don't send me, you know, the current configuration, I mean, they're not even offering to send me the new brakes. Like, none of the problems that I talked about, they're willing to resolve. So it's kind of like we have a, you know, a fantastic bike here, or it's gonna be. I mean, even it's really awesome right now. It just needs new brakes. 43 miles an hour is pretty good top speed for a bike like this. And I'm sure there'd be like some kind of application or something like that coming out in the future where you can get in there and you know, make you know, retune it however you want. So, but with the upgrade, it's going to be awesome. But the thing is, I don't have access to it right now, so, and I don't know if I'm going to get it. And without actually testing it myself, I'm not going to sell it. Obviously, I need to test it. So that's kind of where we're at with it. You can tell just even this configuration, man, it's torquey off the line. It's fun. It's nimble. It's like the ergonomics are really good. Oh, what I didn't mention was the one I ordered here has the rear brake. The rear, the foot rear brake, but you don't have to get it. You can get it with the 2 handbrakes. So I would actually suggest that you get it with the 2 handbrake instead of the foot brake, because, you know, it's such a small bike. I can't like just push down on. I kind of have to move my foot, you know, pick my foot up and then push it down on the brake. So I'd recommend that you get, when you order it, if it ever goes for sale, that you get the hand rear brake. So let's go rip around on it more. And initially, even with this battery, the 72 volt 35 amp hour or 30 amp hour battery, the new one's going to be 35 amp hour, but the 30 amp hour battery, I've been messing around on it, you know, just testing it out the last few days before I, you know, I want to do this video. I want to get a feel for it. I'm actually getting really good range, surprising range. Like with me on it, 265 pounds, like I think I'd get close to 30 miles in full power mode, which is great. So if you add another 5 amp hours to that, man, this thing is. So let's talk about who this bike is for, right? Because right now you have a few options out there. You have the Balmoto B1, but that just comes in a rolling chassis. It doesn't come with the battery or the controller. You have to buy those separately, right? So every other option out there pretty much is something that you have to customize yourself. You have to buy the battery, you have to buy the controller, you have to get the motor, you know, for some of them. And I mean, you got to do a lot of electrical work and stuff like that, and understand how to tune and set up controllers and all that kind of stuff. It's just a huge pain in the ass. But you can soup those things up however you want. So if you enjoy doing that customization and kind of thing, that's great. But if you don't like doing that kind of stuff and you want one of these pit bikes because they're fun as hell, these are the funnest electric bikes there are, hands down. They're funner than Talaria, Surons, all that kind of stuff. These are the funnest. And when you get them 72 volts like that, they're fast. Anywho, the people who don't want to have to go through all the work and customize their bike, this is for you. And at $3,500, that is a steal for this thing. I'm telling you, you're gonna pay that amount, you know, souping the thing up yourself anyways. I mean, maybe you can do it for $2,500, but you're not gonna get this quality components, this fit and finish, no way. Maybe for $3,500. So, I mean, in the cost of putting one of these things together yourself, you could buy this. You're gonna wait a little while because it's gonna ship from China. Yeah, see, these brakes are dangerous. They're not good. The front one's almost completely useless. Yeah, I really hope this thing works out with this bike because it's gonna be an amazing bike, and I'd really like to sell it. I really like what Nikot's doing with their other bikes too. They have the E-Wolf used to be a 4-speed. Now they got a single speed, 14 kilowatt, 55 amp hour battery. Just a beast. So I'd like to, you know, maintain a good relationship with Nikot and hopefully get this thing worked out. But we'll see. Let me know in the comments, knowing that I'm not able to actually do a full test on it because I don't have it. Are you still comfortable ordering one? Let me know, because if you want to order one, knowing that I don't really have the version that's going to be sold, let me know. And I'll just go ahead and add it to my store with this caveat that it's not fully tested yet. I'm gonna see if I can figure out, because I know this controller is a Bafang, and I know there's apps out there for Bafang controllers, but they're all the, you know, like the e-bike ones, the center drive e-bike ones, the Bafang Ultra and stuff like that. I don't know if they work on this controller here. I'm gonna see if I can't get in there somehow and retune this thing. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this one. I'll keep you posted much more about this bike coming up. Let me know what questions you have. Thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button and I'll see you next time. Bye.